seemed to enjoy them last time. They are some of the new ones, so let's get straight into it. So the first one, am I the a-hole for getting into an argument with my parents after they expected my husband to pay for dinner? A little backstory. My parents have helped us financially for our home, amongst gifting us countless times. We don't ask for this, though my husband and I do appreciate it, and I make an effort to treat them out when they come over. So my parents came over to visit for a weekend, and my husband suggested we check out a pub restaurant. When it was time to pay the bill, I offered to pay to treat everyone. My husband said he can grab his own so I don't have to pay for him. Anyway, I told him it's on me and I paid. When my parents returned, I got a phone call from my mom saying how she expected my husband to pay for all of us, considering he suggested the place, and that he should be grateful for how they have supported us and how they have done things for him. I immediately got angry and asked why that was expected of him, as he is not their child and obviously can't read their minds. Now they're just trying to twist the story and say that they were just confused why he was going to pay for himself. So, am I the a-hole? So, the comment says, your husband is the a-hole for inviting everyone and not paying for them. He is additionally the a-hole for offering to pay for himself. So, quote, you don't have to pay for him. What kind of marriage is this where you keep all your money separate like that? I don't think it's that weird to have like a separate bank accounts if you're married, because not everyone has to have joint accounts, but I guess it would be kind of weird if you invited people somewhere and then, or invited family somewhere and made them all pay. But also, I don't think it's that weird. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Next comment says, this is weird. It's fine if the two of you keep separate finances, but it's weird to go out with other people and do what you did. You offered to pay and then he was going to pay for himself. It shouldn't matter to your parents who paid. They didn't have to. But how you and your husband handled it created a weird vibe. I guess it is weird if you go out with your husband and he's like, I'll pay for my own meal. You don't have to worry about it. Because like, for me and my partner we have our own separate accounts, and then we have a joint account. So we just use the joint account whenever we go out for dinner or whatever. So, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna read a different one than what I did the first time so I don't get bored. Okay. Am I the a-hole for not going to my stepdaughter's birthday because they disinvited my son? My fiancé and I have been together for 5, going on 6 years. I was there for him for his drug addiction and raised his daughter while he was in jail and homeless and in rehab. Wow. I have a son from a previous relationship and we have a son together. This last weekend was his daughter's 13th birthday, and the day before, he messaged me to say that his daughter doesn't want my son at her birthday because her boyfriend is coming. My son and her boyfriend get along very well and she feels like she will be left out. So I messaged my fiancé and said I would stop by and give her her gift, but I'm not staying as my son was excited about seeing his sister on her birthday, and he was sad that he wasn't invited anymore. My fiance then got angry that I was making a huge deal out of it, saying she's allowed to have whoever she wants at her birthday, which I agree. She has every right, just as I have every right to show up because my son was upset about being uninvited. He knows I will always have his back. His mom called me to find out what was happening, and I told her what he had said. She told me that his daughter never said that she didn't want her brother there, and that we must come, but I said no because my son was upset. I did not tell my son that my fiancé was the person who uninvited him, but he figured it out and asked me if it was my fiancé, not his sister, who didn't want him around. I ended up taking my son to the movies in the arcade, but when he saw his sister at the mall, he decided he didn't want to stay any longer and we left. Am I the a-hole for being upset about this whole situation? Wow, that was very confusing. I have no idea what just happened. Her fiancé uninvited her son from his daughter's birthday party and then said his daughter did it. Why did he? Anyway, let's look at the comments. Oh, they were thinking the same thing as me. NDA. Why did your fiancé not want your son at the party? That's what I was wondering. Why did your fiancé lie and blame his daughter for disinviting him? Why did your fiancé want to exclude your son and get mad when you had his back? These are questions that I would need my fiancé to answer to my face. Then I would seriously consider if I wanted a relationship with a man like that. From reading the first paragraph alone, it sounds like you are completely done with this man to begin with, and that this episode was your wit's end. It is easier to end an engagement than it is to end a marriage. I am proud that you had your son's back, but it seems like your fiancé has growing up to do. Wow. Yeah, that is really weird. I don't think I would want to marry someone like that. Then another commenter said, if the fiancé is already lying to you, I suggest you seriously rethink marrying him. I'll give you another reason. He has no respect for your son, which is another red flag. That is, yeah, basically everyone in the comments is like, why are you going to get married to this guy who doesn't even like your son? Even though you like raised his children while he was in jail and whatever. Yeah. Just be careful about who you marry, guys, because it's hard to get out of once you're in there. Okay, let's find another one. Okay, little short one. aita for not letting my aunt and her family in my house. I am female, 34 years old, living in a 2-story house with my husband that has 2 bedrooms. A couple of months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and my aunt from another state was informed about my sickness, so she wanted to visit me. During these months, I was terribly sick and bedridden, so I couldn't clean the house. My husband couldn't clean because he was accompanying me in the hospital and at the same time had to go to work. My aunt wanted to bring her son and 2 grandchildren and asked if they could stay in my house. I turned her down because the house was uninhabitable. Is that a word? Uninhabitable. didn't want them to just sleep on the couches. She got upset and blocked me on social media. She later on said there's nothing to do on my side of town anyway. I was like, I thought her purpose was to visit me. Before I even read the comments, that did she say it was her aunt? Her aunt. How old is she that she's acting so immature, like blocking her on social media and then saying there's nothing to do on your side of town anyway? Oh my god. That is just horrible. Okay, the comments say NTA. The fact that they blocked you just means that they had ulterior motives and you did the right thing. Sounds right. Your priority is your health, not being her host. A normal aunt would volunteer to help clean up the place and take care of you, not trample on your boundaries with 4 guests. Wait, guests are people you invite, right? So they're just traveling merchants. Yeah, then the OP added, I feel like she just wants free accommodation and used me as an excuse so she and her family can have a vacation. It's disappointing. Thank you. I'm so sorry for people who have family like this that pretend to care about you and they don't actually. Okay, let's do one more and we'll wrap it up. Let's do a little short video. Okay, another one about a house. aita for kicking my broke parents out of the house. I'm 20 years old and live in a 2-room apartment. One of those rooms is my room and the other one is the kitchen/main room. Since my parents lost their jobs last year, I offered for them to stay in my apartment until they found another job. My parents sleep on the floor of the kitchen/main room. When my parents and I finish up with dinner, we socialize for a couple hours and then head off to bed. My parents usually go to sleep at around 10:30 to 10:45, while I usually stay up until 12:15. My dad keeps complaining about how my TV is too loud even though it's at 15 volume. I thought this was rather odd, but I complied with him and turned it down to about 5 volume. He still kept complaining and I kept telling him back that it wasn't that loud. I went over to where they slept, laid down and couldn't hear a thing, just the slightest of mumbling. His bright idea was to unplug my router and not give it back, even in the morning or after work. I told him it's my house and I bought that router and the Wi-Fi here. You have no right of taking it from me. He responded back with, I am your father, I control this house, which is obviously not true because I own the damn place. My mom didn't help me out, she made it worse. She was defending my father and pushing me whenever I tried to take it from him. This had been going on for about 3 days already and I decided to kick them both out. I told them to pack their stuff and go, but both of them said that they had full authority over me, that I can't kick them out because I'm still their child. I called the cops on them and got them trespassed from my apartment complex. I don't think that's how you use the word trespass, but okay, I know what you mean. Over the past couple days, they've been texting me of how selfish I am and how oversensitive I am about everything. Is this true? My opinion before I read the comments, those parents be crazy because you're not just in control of your children just because you're their parents, especially if they're letting you stay in their house after you lost your job. Okay, like you should be obeying their own house rules. Like what the heck? child and they shouldn't be treating you like one. It's unfortunate that it came to a breaking point, and it's really sad that you felt you had to trespass them from your apartment. I guess that is how you use that word. Okay, I'm just stupid. I don't think you're an a-hole for wanting to have autonomy and control in your own home. I do think it's really sad that it all went down so horribly, but they really created that by behaving so poorly. Hang in there, OP. Yeah, I agree. Have your parents been huge a-holes the rest of your life too? Might be time to go no contact with them and TA. Then the OP said, I don't really know. They can be like that sometimes, but they're still my parents. They did raise me my whole life. Then someone else said, the fact that they're still your parents doesn't mean anything. You're not beholden to anyone solely because they birthed you or share blood. Then the OP said they're gonna